3.5 years ago, almost, I made a speech in the first of our debates on climate change. At that point, I said the debate is no longer whether our emissions are having an impact. That debate is over. The question is now the severity of our impact and what window of opportunity we have. That was May 2016 in the context of me commenting on the Rio Conventions, which were theoretically a turning point. But it was no turning point because since '92 our emissions have gone up. Now we're here today and we're looking at the window of opportunity much narrower. We're running out of time as humanity, as a nation and in the stall. Climate action and climate justice must underpin every step taken by the government, and it must be an immediate priority. And you know, Minister, otherwise it's too late. So I won't use my words. I'm going to quote the words from people who are far more learned and experienced than I. The UN Secretary-General: preventing irreversible climate disruption is the race of our lives and for our lives. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, almost a year ago to the date, gave its starkest warning ever. The head of the Commission, not known for her radical nature, told us the new President of the European Commission has recognised that the global and domestic EU interest, the interests of the EU, demand an increased ambition in our targets. We had the Habitats report telling us about the extinction at an enormous rate of our habitats and various different species. And we've had our own advisory council, again, not known for its radical nature. Its annual review published in July, it found Ireland will not come close to meeting our international emission reduction targets by 2020. And it stated we need a significant and sustained rate of emissions reduction. I don't have time to go into the 5 key findings. But, Minister, I can say your reaction to me saying we don't have a copy of your speech is not acceptable. We need a speech from a minister and a government setting out that they recognise the enormity of what we're facing as a country. Every step of the way we have pushed you, we have pushed the government to take action. And it was the children on the street that really pushed us. I appreciate that your host has shown me a report. I have seen many, many reports. I have seen a mitigation plan, a framework, an action plan, a legislation, and all of the time our emissions are going the wrong direction, and we're narrowing our debate to talking about a carbon tax as opposed to how are we going to engage with our communities that want to engage with us, because they, more than us, and most of all the young people, realise how important it is. Also, we're part of the EU that's looking at further and further militarisation of the EU. And environmental destruction, increased greenhouse gas emissions, climate change, climate chaos are all an inescapable part of modern warfare. And modern warfare is part of the American agenda which the EU is tying up to. We cannot look at these things in isolation, Minister. And waving a plan up to me is not dealing with the enormity and the severity of what we're facing. I'm going home this evening and I can't wait. And when I do, I'm going to a meeting on cycling and the lack of cycling infrastructure. Can you imagine in the 21st century in Galway City, we're talking about the most basic infrastructure for cycling. And we're still going ahead with more roads, despite the fact that 23,000 people signed a petition to say, please, God, look at, or whoever you pray to, look at a feasibility study for public transport and light rail. Not happening. And a city where development is being led by developers all over again. Your own colleague, Deputy Coveney, agreed with me on 2 occasions and told me it was unusual. Yes, he agreed that it was developer-led, with no master plan integrated with climate change. Climate change has to lead everything we're doing. And then we see further prospecting licences in Connemara. And simply because of the level of protest, I understand again that that has stopped. But your policy is open door to people to come in and extract more and more minerals, more fossil fuels when we know we can't do that. Thank you.